In this video we're doing a bearings problem. An orienteering course sends competitors 5.2 kilometres due north to a fire tower, then 3.7 kilometres due east to an abandoned building before returning back to the starting point. The first thing that we need to find is the total length of the orienteering course. You should draw a diagram for this. It should look something like this. Notice that each point where the competitor turned in their course, I drew a fresh compass rose to help indicate the direction. To find the total distance travelled, we just need to find the third side of that right-angled triangle. It's a job for Pythagoras' theorem. We need to find the hypotenuse, so d squared equals 3.7 squared plus 5.2 squared. We can do some calculations and find out that the distance is 6.38 kilometres. We were asked for the total distance of the course though, so we need to add together the three sides of that triangle to find out that the total length of the course is 15.28 kilometres. The second part of the question asks us to work out the bearing of the finishing point from the abandoned house. Now that means if you're standing at the abandoned house, what direction would you head to get to the finishing line? We're going to need to find out theta in the diagram. We're going to do that. We ask ourselves which sides are involved. On my diagram there we can use the opposite and the adjacent side. We can make a tan question of it, and using our calculators we can find out that the angle there, theta, is 54.57 degrees. That's not exactly the bearing. It would be tempting to say the bearing was west, 54.57 degrees towards the south. While that would not be wrong, the convention is always to start with south and then rotate towards the west. So we really need to find out this angle here, angle A, on the diagram. To do that, all we need to do is to take our last answer away from 90 degrees. We can give our final answer as a bearing south, 35 degrees and 25 minutes towards the west. Notice in this question, I left my answer as a decimal degrees right throughout the working. That's because it's easier to add and subtract those decimal numbers than it is degrees and minutes. So work all the way through in decimals and only in your final answer change it into degrees and minutes.